This is T.
And this is MC.
Doing Dallas.
What are we talking about tonight, T?
Well, tonight we're going to be talking about dating in a different lane.
Ooh. What exactly do you mean by that?
Well, you know, dating guys or guys dating women on a different level, pay grade, just all of that, just in a different lane. Yeah, race.
Size, color, muscles, no muscles.
Yeah, all of that. So, you know, how do you feel about dating someone that's, you know, not necessarily on your level? You like the guy, but then you find out he works at Walmart.
I have changed a lot over the years because I had this picture in my mind of what my mate would look like, you know, 6 foot, dark, you know, all the things that every woman wants in a man. And over time, that's changed because you find out that you can't find perfection. And so you do have to sometimes go outside of what you want to do or what you desire.
Yeah, you know. So that is something that a person will have to think about because, you know, everybody doesn't develop at the same time in life and doesn't start working or start their careers at different times, and people fall on hard times and have to take, you know, secondary jobs or supplemental jobs just to try and make ends meet. So now that you've made these adjustments in your life, would that be a person you would even contemplate marrying? Because you know,
sure. I mean, but you know, like in the dating process, you have to, of course, ask all the questions that, you know, get you from point A to point B. So if you knew that the person had potential and that they could probably get back to that point again, if that's what you were looking for, that's one thing. But if it's somebody that's going completely downhill and on a whole bunch of aspects, then that wouldn't be something I would want to consider. But as far as somebody dating, because I used to say I want someone 6'5", 6'2", because I'm 5'8". So I would consider someone shorter now. It doesn't make a difference. It's just what's inside of their chest. What is in the heart? What are they about? You know, how do they care for people? You know, there's other qualities in the person that would make him a good partner.
Well, that's true. That's true. So do you think men share that same type of view when they're looking at a woman? So why do you think that's?
Because they all have, I won't say all. I can't say all. We can't take one group and say everybody is the same. But it just depends on the stage of life that they're in and what they're looking for, I guess. Some guys have a list of what they want a woman to look like. I was thinking of this person I was talking to the other day saying that they had to wear certain clothes or they couldn't wear long nails. They preferred natural hair. So it all depends on the person, what they're looking for.
Well, that's true. So since we're both single, do you find that men are intimidated by our status? Because
yes, let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because I had someone tell me the other day, someone that I work with, saying that when you meet guys, they're probably intimidated by the car you drive. I'm like, what? It's just a car note.
Awkward.
Exactly. So that's all it is. It's just a car note.
Exactly.
You go to work every day just
Exactly.
like they do. But I mean, in the society that we live in, I'm finding out that, or I'm observing that women are actually making more money than men. So in this type of society, men are going to be intimidated by a lot of women just for that reason alone. How do you feel?
Well,
awesome.
That's a different, well, not a different subject, but it's a certain way you have to look at it because black men in our society and in Texas mostly, or all over, don't make the kind of money that their counterparts do at the same age and same education. So as far as, what's the question? I forgot.
Awkward.
What's the question again? Can you please?
Well, the question is really geared toward being that we know that society have it where the women aren't actually making more money than the men.
Yeah, they are.
And how are you coming across when you're meeting men? Do they feel that you are an intimidation?
Sometimes, yeah. It just depends on the man again, because if they are not, they only making $25,000 or $30,000 a year, and I drive up in my little car, then they think I'm making all this money, but little do they know I ain't making as much money as they are. So, sometimes they are intimidated, and I don't think it's so much of as income too, as it is sometimes conversational quality, how you're dressed, all of those things. Men get intimidated by your height, how you approach them, because in certain areas, some men don't like that approach, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I get it. Some men don't like to be approached by women.
Right.
And especially a woman that's, driving up in a nice car or things like that.
Right.
And we'll be right back to further discuss dating in a different lane on the T
and MZ doing Dallas. We're back
with the T
and MZ show.
Well, we left you guys. We took a small break, and when we left, we were talking about dating in a different lane, and we were talking about guys being intimidated for women who make more money than they do. But let me ask you this: so for women, it's very hard to date someone. Let's say you are a CEO of a company. It's pretty hard to date someone that's work at McDonald's.
But you see it more and more now. You see doctors dating mechanics. You see a psychiatrist or high-end, because men don't make as much money, like you said before. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I don't see it on that type of a spectrum either, that someone in a high-level profession dating someone on a low-level profession.
You see it in the movies.
Yeah, we see it in the movie, and we know that's all like kind of fairy tale and for entertainment purposes.
Right.
But it's just like you wouldn't take, or no, I wouldn't say you wouldn't take, but oftentimes truck drivers, we gonna target truck drivers.
Right.
Truck drivers get a bad rap for being not a good man because they drive a truck and they're known to be at truck stops and they have all the prostitutes that come up, and those men get overlooked, but they make very good money, but they're blue collar workers.
Yeah. But I put it to you this way. Someone I know married someone below their profession, and I asked us, would you prefer to have someone below your profession that loves you and treats you good?
So what's below their profession? What was their profession?
They were a high executive in a company, and they married someone that was a blue collar worker. And I asked, why did they, jump that low? And she was like, well, I tried to date guys that made a lot of money, that were high professionals, educated. But she said they treated me like crap. She said, so this guy did not make a lot of money, but he worships the ground I walk on. So
do you think that's strategic on the man part, because she's, bringing him up?
No, I think that, it could be, depending on the person again. What do you think? Well,
I think that a lot of times that women miss out on men for that very reason, because we're always thinking that the man is always out to get you. So even if you make more money, you have a nice house, you have a nice car, the first thing that's going to come to our mind is, what does he want from me?
But also the thing I think that women think too is they're only trying to protect themselves. Do you agree with that? In terms of, because if you have a lot, you have a lot to lose.
You do.
And so if you have somebody that comes into your life that does not make the kind of money you make, of course that thought is going to come across your mind.
But what would you do?
You ride it out, because you can't discount that person because they don't make the money that you make. Some people make so much money that they may never match your income. So, that means that you will never have anyone.
Well, that's true, but how would a person actually entertain that type of relationship? Because here it is, you're making 6 figures and he's barely making 5 figures.
Right.
So how does a person wrap their mind around it? And it's not just geared toward women dating men. This could also be in reverse.
Yeah.
there's a TV show called Million Millions.
Right.
And the guy is like 61 and she's like 23. So we know she don't have millions.
Absolutely, right.
But he has millions.
Right, and she's only marrying him for his money.
Well, that's what one would think, but she says she loves him. So from the outside looking in, we all would speculate that it's because of his money. But what if she really does love him?
She got a big heart.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying. So
Right.
sometimes it's not the money that the person is necessarily looking at. It could actually be the person.
It could. And that's what I said in the beginning. You have to judge each person by individually by how they treat you, look in their past, do some research, check, all of their credit history and all those kinds of things and see what kind of person you're really dealing with. Is this a good Christian person? Is this a good person that knows how to love? Do they treat their family good? Do they treat their kids good? Are they frivolous with their money? There's so many questions that you can delve into to find out whether or not that person is really going to be a good mate or whether they out to get you.
Yeah, I have a friend back in the Chi. She's actually a CFO of a big hospital there, and she's a CFO, and her boyfriend or fiance, he works at the movie theater.
See, wow,
that's a big difference.
That's huge.
She owns a condo downtown. She has a Porsche. She has everything, and
how long have they been together?
They've been together for 3 years now.
Okay.
So I think he has advanced to being a manager at the movie theater, but still, when you look at the two, you often wonder, is he after her for her money?
But see, it still goes back to the thing of a black man not being able to climb the ladder as fast as a black woman can. Because in a different situation, he may have been able to do that, but because of the seals they put on the black men, they can't do as well as a black woman.
Well, we're not talking about 20-year-olds. These are
I know.
40 and 50-year-olds.
I know.
And, he's actually working at the movie theater. So for me, I don't know if I can actually do that.
Really?
No, I personally, I don't.
What are his goals? What are his ambitions? What is his 5-year plan?
Well, he one day wants to be a film producer. So he spent a lot of time and energy and resources pursuing that. So
did it work out?
Well, obviously not. I mean, I think he's working at the movie theater. But my point in saying all of that is she hasn't given up on him, but she still support quite a bit of what he does, and actually quite a bit of him, because he makes so little and she makes so much. Yeah. And that would just be hard for me as a woman to do.
That's a hard topic because, the heart wants what the heart wants. And so when somebody is not on the same level as you, or, there's a lot of differences, it's hard sometimes to fill the gap or to make it make sense in your head. I mean, what do you think about it?
Well, I can tell you what she think about it. She really don't care what anybody thinks about it too much.
There you go.
But she says that she know his heart is genuine, mm-hmm. and if he had it, she feels that he would definitely
absolutely
share, and she would reap the benefits from that. So if it means that this time she has to help her man get up, mm-hmm. she's going to help a black man get up.
There you go. Clap. Exactly. I feel I would do that if that person was right.
But how do you, I don't know. I guess my question is, how do you really know if the person is right?
Well, can't you, it's like intuition. When you're with somebody, after a while, what do they say? After 6 months, the person going to really show you who they are?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what they say. You'll really find out about a person. If you can stick with them for 6 months, they start really showing you who they are. So you just have to watch and be observant. That's what I think. What do you think? You don't think you could do it? You cut them off in the beginning, or?
I think I have an income requirement. I'm not trying to be shallow mm-hmm. about it, but I really do think I have an income requirement. After talking to a few of my male friends, the more we talk about this subject, the more I realize I do have an income requirement.
What's your income requirement?
I need them to make a minimum of $50,000 a year.
Okay.
a minimum. And I just think, I don't think that's asking too much.
No,
that's me.
Right.
But for the next woman, that may be too much. But for me, I think I need a minimum of 50.
But think if you were a woman that was like a multimillionaire, you didn't need any money. You just wanted a man.
I still need a minimum of $50,000 a year. I need him to make something, because to me, if he make 50, we can take 50 and make it 100.
Right.
You know, but I need him to be able to contribute something. If he's working at Walmart, he can't pay even my light bill.
No.
So I need him to be able to contribute something to whatever, if I was a multi-millionaire.
But what if he was like what you said in the beginning when we started talking, that he was down on his luck and he was just having a hard time pulling himself back up at the point that you met him?
Yeah, and I get that, but I still think he needs to make $50,000 a year, and he could be down on his luck, and I can help him from that standpoint. But I do need a certain it's sad to say, but I do need a certain amount of income.
Okay.
Yeah. I personally can't work with the Walmart man.
No, that's a tough one. The greeter.
Yeah, I can't work with the greeter, and my friend that's the CFO. I couldn't even work with the movie theater guy.
Yeah.
Now, she wasn't a CFO when she met him.
Right.
But she was very high up at the hospital. She
Right.
just got promoted to that job in the last year. But I still couldn't do it. But would you dump him?
What else would you, I mean, or you just keep him hanging on?
Well, I would probably say,
dump him. You would
sayonara, buddy.
Yeah.
But talking about dating in different lanes, and we talked about the intimidation. We talked about men making more, women making more, and how those situations turn out. But we're going to go ahead and
close the show, and we're going to do that with a farewell. Good night.
Well, as you all can see, we're getting kind of sleepy here.
Loopy. So good night, all. And to all a good night.
That's not Christmas. All right, take us out to the ball game. We're winding down now. The TNMZ Doing Dallas show. You can hear us every week on the
Soul Vibe Radio.
You failed.
I should let us hear it.
Everybody have a good night. Thank you.
Good night.